What's going on, crew? Big C90210 here. I've got some goodies for you today. Today we're going to be, well, I've got a Steam Link and a Steam controller. So what we're going to be covering in this video is we are going to be doing an unboxing of the Steam controller, and we are going to be comparing it to a Razer Sabertooth and a standard Xbox 360 controller to see what it's like in terms of comfort. So, without any further ado, let's see what we got. We have a very nice box. It's light blue. It's got a little flappy bit on the top, and that's all you need to know, really. Let's remove this outer casing. So yeah, we have like a little sticky thing here which needs to come off. So let's just get that off. So yeah, this is among the first batch of Steam controllers to hit the UK. Because I ordered it in June. So we open it up. Let's get that off my finger. And we have a rather nice looking controller. Ooh, it feels very light. That's the first thing I've just noticed. So let's just put this down a sec. Let's just have a look. So yeah, we have a very, very light controller. We've got two thumb wheels here. Straight away I've noticed this feels quite high up compared to a normal Xbox pad that you might have, say, down here. This feels not a lot higher, but it does feel notably higher. Yeah, we've got two track wheels here which actually push down to click. This one's got a D-pad on it, whereas this one doesn't. Y, X, A and B. We've got our analog stick which also has a click. We've got back, start, Steam buttons. Coming around the top, we have a USB cable because you can use this either wired or wireless. We have our shoulder buttons. We have our triggers, which are analog, but then when you get to the certain point, I don't know if you can hear that, they become digital and have it like a digital click. So as an example, if you are playing something like Battlefield, you could have this as look down your scope. Oh, that's just a box falling over. You could have this as look down your scope, but then you could have the click to shoot. So you could do both of those from one. Also here, this part of the pad, these are actually buttons as well. These are paddles. So you've got shoulders, triggers, and paddles, which is quite nice. So let's just have another look at this up close. It's got the Steam logo on the back. It's all matte plastic. Only seems to be 4 screws holding it together from what I can see. Yeah. So underneath the Steam controller we have a little toggly thing, little slide switch. So when we press the slide switch, the back plate comes off. So looking inside the controller, we can see two things here which kind of indicates there might be some sort of expansion pack. That's the reason why it's very light. So it's got battery compartments here and little arrows pointing up. So let's just put this down, explore what's in the box. In the box we have a Steam logo, we have a pack of Duracell batteries, and a USB dongle. Worth noting that this USB dongle can actually do 4 controllers, not just one. And the Steam Link also has one of these dongles built into it, as do all Steam machines. Taking this out, we have a Steam controller product guide, which no one cares about, and a quick startup guide. And in here we have a little receiver, which I'm guessing if you had this on your TV or something, or you wanted to bring this around from the back of your monitor, you could, wrong way, you could plug that in like that, and then you could use this cable to have your pad. I'm just going to push this out the other end in order to have your pad wireless. Yeah, or you could just forget about this and you could just plug this straight into the top of the pad. This is just a USB mini cable, USB 2, so it's just kind of like any BlackBerry or Android phone charger cable, which is quite nice because if you end up breaking them, it just means it's very easy and cheap to replace. Alrighty then. So I'm just going to put that down there and let's just have a look at the pad. So getting our Duracell batteries, let's just open these up. Sorry that my desk's a mess, by the way. I was going to clean it up, but I just thought, nah, I'll be au natural. I'll show you guys what I'm really like. So there's one battery out. According to Steam, according to Valve, if you put rechargeable batteries in this, I don't think it'll charge them. But so I'm guessing that's probably why they didn't give you rechargeable batteries in the first instance. So batteries both go in with the positive end facing downwards. So you put it in like that. I'm just going to bring this up here. And as you put it in, this flap comes down, this battery flap. So when you push the battery flap back up, it ejects the battery. That's a very, very nice touch indeed. So let's just see that one more time. There we go. And on the other side, it's exactly the same. Click the battery in. Battery flap snaps shut. Actually, the pad feels a lot nicer now with the extra weight added to it. And then you slide the pad in, top part first, and then the bottom part clicks in. So it slides in like that. Satisfying click, and we've still got our paddles. Okay then, so that just about covers this. Some things that we should probably start pointing out now as we go into the ergonomics of the pad. I'm just going to put this pad down because I have another one that's actually plugged in over here. So I'm just going to, now that we've explored how the pad fits together and stuff, let's put our three most commonly used pads together and let's see how they kind of stack up. So 1 second, I'm just going to let the camera focus while I stack everything up. So yeah, we have a Razer Sabertooth pad, which retails at about 70 quid. It's got a little LCD on the front with Razer, and it has some extra features such as extra shoulder buttons here and 4 extra buttons on the back. This is your bog standard Xbox pad, and obviously we have the Steam pad. So just looking to begin with, the first thing that you'll notice between all three, I'm just going to push my keyboard back a bit, is that the X, Y, A and B on the Steam controller are pretty much where the analog stick would be. And 1 second, there we go, sorry about that. Yeah, it's not too bad to get used to. I will be making another gameplay video of me using the Steam controller with multiple genres of games, so be sure to check that out. Check out the Steam Link review. It does feel quite alien to be here. I mean, just without even playing any games at all, kind of like just going to reach these buttons, the Y and B buttons kind of feel like where the X and the A buttons would be on a normal pad. So it's kind of like if you wanted X, I would just kind of go there. But no, you need to go that bit further. But I think that'll take a little bit of getting used to, but it's not a train smash. Yeah, one thing that's quite nice is that when you press the Steam button, you should get big picture mode, which you don't. It's because I'm busy streaming, so yeah, that's okay. But normally when you press this button while Steam is open, it just launches big picture mode, which is quite nice. One thing to note about this is that despite that it lacks a second analog stick, this pretty much makes up for it. Now, let's talk about the haptic feedback for a second. So, in both... 1 sec. In both pads, there's haptic feedback. I don't know if you can hear this. In the left pad, it seems to be slightly louder than the right. The right pad's actually controlling my mouse at the minute. But either way, though, it is very, very nice. It actually adjusts depending on the game. So some games, it's quite loud and it's quite feedback-ish. In other games, it's very subtle. Now, what's weird about this is that it feels like with this, like when I'm flicking this like this, you can feel under your thumb as if it's like a trackball spinning. So as an example, if I flick it like this, I can feel it spinning in my hands, like through the pad. So I know whether I've took a big swipe or whether I've just took a little swipe, which it's honestly, it's such a strange experience. But it's definitely the first thing you feel. Whereas this side at the minute, just because it's currently set to gamepad mode, is it's very kind of very D-pad digital-ish. But yeah, it's a very, very strange thing. It's definitely unique. I've never seen a controller like this. Um, One thing that is interesting is, let's talk about bindings for a second. You can get controllers such as the Razer Sabertooth, which I forked out 70 quid for, which claim to have bindings. Okay, now you have the extra buttons that I mentioned before and the extra buttons on the back, but you cannot truly bind these. What I mean by that is all you can do is remap them to other keys on the pad. So as an example, you could bind X, Y, A and B to these 4 buttons on the back. So why the fuck would you do that? Well, the reason why you would do that is because if you bound these to the back of the pad, then it would mean that you would never have to take your hands off both analog sticks. Now, yeah, that's great, but what I really actually wanted was to rebind one of these back keys or extra shoulder buttons for things like Ventrilo or TeamSpeak or Mumble. But no, you can't actually do that unless you are rebinding one of the buttons on the pad, in which case you would lose a button on the pad. So yeah, not true rebinding. Obviously the Xbox pad is just standard, but the Steam controller is real rebinding. I mean, you could have any of these buttons set up for full keyboard macros. You could have these buttons set to letters on the keyboard. You can basically program this to do whatever you like. Couple of other things to note is that when you're in game, you can use any pre-made. Actually, one sec. There we go. We have got big picture mode. The reason why big picture mode didn't work is because I was highlighted on my web browser. So let's just have a quick look. I was playing Rocket Birds. So yeah. When you're in game, you can rebind the pad to whatever you like. And what I mean by that is, like, say if you're playing as say you're playing Left 4 Dead, you could bind this to be like WASD, and you could bind this to be like your mouse, or you could play it in a traditional controller fashion. Let's just continue. Okay, so we're playing here. And if I press the Steam controller button, you've got configure controller. Now, what you can do is if you press X, you have different controller configurations. Now, at the minute, we've only got one, which is gamepad. But if the community had made other ones, then we could download and use them. Actually, I'll tell you what. Let's quickly stick Left 4 Dead on. Left 4 Dead's Left 4 Dead's a good example. Now this all does take some getting used to. Right, so right, okay, so at the minute this is like mouse and keyboard. Which one's left click? I can't remember which one's left click. Oh, there we go. Single player, Dead Center, normal. Okay. Let's go. I wish I hadn't picked Dead Center now. It makes that really, it's got that really fucking loud intro. Loud intro. Okay, so we can go to configure controller. We can browse configs. And here we have lots of different configs that we can download and just install. And what's quite cool is it actually shows you how many people are using that key binding. And then if I selected it, then this would be it. So this is it here, and I mean, this is all, as you can see, this is just like using a trackball on a mouse. If I swing it, you know what I mean? It's It's very nice. Can't remember what my buttons are. There we go. But yeah, it's I mean, I definitely do not play first-person shooters with a mouse and keyboard because I'm not a fucking tard. But even this, for someone like me, who uses mouse and keyboard, it feels very familiar, actually. It's not as foreign as I would have thought it would have been. But yeah, like I said, we'll cover more of this, of how it works in each genre of game in the other video. But one other thing I was just about to show you guys, just before we knock this video on the head, is how you can chat with it, which is really, really, really good. Some of you guys might have used the Steam Flower for chat, whereas with the Steam controller you can opt to kind of have two. Don't know if you can see it there. You can have two different split keyboards depending on the on which touchpad you're using. So if I want to write, I can go T E S T with the left, and then I could go L O L. These buttons here, your shoulder buttons, are actually delete and space. There's probably a few other keys, I just haven't tested them out yet. So you can go test, lol, this is weird. But yeah, I'm not going to submit it, but you get the idea. I mean, I'm not very good with control pads in general, but it honestly only took me a minute or so's worth of practice, and I was being able to type words at a decent pace. So I'm just going to return to desktop. So yeah, that is the Steam controller. Like I said, there will be another video of this covering various genres of games and what works well and what doesn't. How does the Steam controller suit different genres of games? And there will obviously be the Steam Link video, so be sure to check that out, because I have a very, very, very powerful machine, Triple Titans, which I'm going to be streaming both on Wi-Fi and via wired cable round the house to see how smooth it is. They're testing different speeds and connectivity and whatever else. So that's just about it, really. Please, please, please leave me a comment. If you like this video, please press like, subscribe, tell your mom, share it around, let me know what you guys think, and I shall see you guys next time.